to our channel, and today we are talking to Sara Gladstone, who is from Glamping Innovations. So she is on her way from Kent down to Cornwall, and she has popped in for a cup of tea with us so we can have a little chat about the glamping market and what kind of structures are hot right now. So just tell us a little bit about Glamping Innovations and how it started.
I started Glamping Innovations in 2020, so I formed the company on 28th of February.
Oh gosh.
And then we went into COVID, which was a really
Right.
interesting time. But what that gave me was the time really to sort of really think about a strategy for the company. And I'd been in the sector for a number of years, working with a company that sold canvas structures into the sector. And I decided really that the market needed some innovation, needed something very different. So my first product, my hero product, was a product called the GLantana.
Oh, I've heard of the glamtainer, yes.
Yeah, and the GLantana was a very interesting, unique product. It wasn't a converted container. We actually manufactured the container itself.
Specifically for glamping?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, because it needed to be very strong. And then it had this huge glass panel that slid out.
Wow.
And it created a beautiful boutique hotel room.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what happened with COVID was that the shipping price went through the roof. If you remember, all of these shipping containers ended up in wrong places, and so the actual transportation of shipping units became crazy, and I think my costs went up from £2,000 to £9,000.
Oh, unsustainable.
Unsustainable. Yeah. So we started to manufacture that product in Europe, and we're still doing that. But then I moved into the sector of very unique canvas structures.
Okay.
So we developed the Panorama Dome and the Arcade, which are still in my product range. We also have a range of safari tents as well. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to very much concentrate on bringing products in that are very, very unique.
That are different, yeah, which is brilliant. It's what you need. If you're creating a glamping site, you need something completely unique, because as we talked about earlier, the glamping market is really saturated, isn't it, in the UK? It's
a saturated market. In some areas there's still some opportunity. There's still lots of opportunity for sites that are doing something a little bit different, not only in terms of the units that they put in, but the experience that they offer to their guests as well. Yeah. So there's still a huge opportunity, and it's trying to really think beyond just putting a few bell tents into a field. It's actually trying to think about what your guest is going to get from what they're looking for from a glamping holiday, and also keeping it to glamping, not starting to go down the sort of boutique hotel sort of type of arrangement.
Because you all know how we feel about glamping. Glamping is canvas structures. And if you are doing, absolutely carry on doing your beautiful wooden structures. But we're saying that's more of a boutique hotel experience rather than actual proper traditional glamping where you're under canvas, you're getting out in nature and the outdoors. Where are you finding it's going? Are you finding that people are going more down the wooden structures, or is there still a market for canvas structures?
There's still a market. There's a lot of people going down the sort of more solid structure, because they can be around, they can be open all year round. But the canvas structures are, as long as you're looking at what you're doing with that structure and making it as unique as possible, even if it's taking a standard structure and creating something very special inside. Yeah. So the site I was mentioning to you earlier on, they've taken our frames for our safari tents, and then they've created almost like a wooden lodge out of it.
Yeah, which sounds amazing. Yeah.
So that kind of thing. So making something very, very special. And I mean, we have also moved into the solid structure sector, because we look at the market, we look at opportunities that are there that are perhaps not being exploited. And the barrel, for instance, is a product that we designed and we're now producing for vineyards and wineries.
Because it looks like a wine barrel, essentially.
It looks like a huge, great big wine barrel.
Wow, that sounds
so
really cool.
So it sits aesthetically, it sits very, very well in that kind of environment. There are a lot of vineyards popping up now in the UK. And they've got beautiful restaurants, and they've got, they provide lovely tours, and you can have lunch, you can have dinner, and They want people to drink as much wine as they possibly can, but they've got no accommodation.
Yeah.
So that product's creating a lot of interest.
Yeah.
We've sold it to America already, and I mean it's available globally.
Wow. Okay, that's amazing. So, what's your best-selling structure at the moment?
The best-selling structure in the UK is the Panorama,
which is basically like a lozenge-shaped dome, isn't it, essentially? And it's wooden framed?
It's wooden frame. The frame is made out of birch.
Yeah.
It's a single skin product.
But it is a canvas structure, essentially, isn't it? Because it's got a canvas over the top.
Yeah.
So for sites like us that can only have canvas, that would work absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that canvas is your best-selling product. I mean, that's good from our point of view. I'm pleased that people are still doing traditional glamping. And then what of the wooden ones are kind of up there now, of your wooden structures that you do?
Well, we've just moved into that, so it will be the barrel. The barrel will be, I would imagine. The difference with the barrel is, one, it looks like a huge, great big wine barrel, but two, it will fit into the pod sector as well. It's got glass either side of the product, and then it's got these domed windows, like this window up here, dome windows in the top, and in the side where the bathroom is. It comes fully fitted with everything in it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you've just gone into the American market now, haven't you?
Yes.
So obviously the UK is really establishing as glamping. We know there's loads of different glamping sites. We're getting to a saturation point, so almost. But what's happening out in America? They seem to be absolutely flying with the glamping at the moment.
It's going crazy over there. It's a market again that is pretty financially stable.
Yeah.
The Americans like to travel around America and holiday. They're a little bit more focused, I think, on like a tiny house. That's a really
the tiny
big
house
market.
Movement is massive, isn't it?
And that's another project we've developed for the it started off with the American market, but so they're quite focused on tiny houses, but there is a huge opportunity for canvas type products out in America.
Okay. So have you got any sneak peeks of what's happening in the pipeline for the future for your products? I think you're allowed to tell us.
The teepee is an interesting product as well, because it's a product that's been around a long time as a traditional glamping product. It's probably one of the first, along with yurts. But we've developed one which is very different from the standard teepee.
Okay, that'd be exciting.
So that's coming. Again, we've already sold those to America.
Oh wow, okay.
We've sold 10 for a sort of a teepee village out there.
Oh cool, okay.
And it's going to be quite clever because it's got sliding walls inside it.
Oh, okay.
And so the beds are behind the sliding walls. Right. And then you've got this big sort of central fire pit area, so communal space in the middle.
Inside
the teepee.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. So very traditional still, but very different.
Oh, wow, that does sound amazing. So will that be coming to the UK?
That will be coming to the UK.
Oh, okay. Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
So if somebody was starting a glamping site right now and they were trying to pick their structure, what is the one structure that you think that would be something people could go for?
I think it depends on whether they are focusing on the family market or the couples market.
Okay.
So you'll know here that the family market, people go glamping in the summer holidays and at weekends, whereas the couples market, couples will still go glamping in midweek. So it really depends, and it's quite important to get that right. Yeah. Because you can't mix the two.
No,
you can't have families next to couples. You have to decide on which market you're going to go for. So family market. I mean, what you've done with your structures here is you've given, people their sort of separate space, which is great. And a couples market, they're going to expect something a little bit high-end luxury, a private outdoor space as well. So I think domes do really well. I think domes are still a big opportunity for that kind of structure. Safari tents do very well in the family market because you can divide the space up and you can have a bathroom inside and you can have a big sort of family area, And the arcade is an interesting product because it's a canvas product. It's very strong. So we've sold arcades to a site up in Scotland that was very exposed. So it will withstand really adverse weather conditions. And you can separate that space inside. So you can have your sleeping areas, your living area, and your bathroom.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
And a huge, great big terrace as well with the arcade.
Oh wow, okay. And so for couples, would you go down the more tiny home wooden pod type route?
I wouldn't go down the standard pod route.
No,
I think that's pretty well saturated.
Yeah.
But so something very unique. A lot of people doing self builds now.
Yes.
Creating something that is very unique and very different.
Yes, well I mean like this wooden hut that we're sat in now is just an octagonal hut that we built out of the top of our heads.
And it's lovely, it's a really lovely space.
And you could well, we can't because it's not in our glamping permitted area, so we can't let anybody stay in this, unfortunately, but we use it a lot for afternoon teas anyway, so it doesn't matter. But you could build your own quirky structure and it would be completely unique.
Yeah.
So for couples, that's probably the way you'd go, do you think?
Yeah, we could take a standard structure and make it very, a very sort of beautiful setup, very romantic, and your outdoor baths here, lovely idea. If you've got the seclusion for that, it's a really nice idea. It feels like it's a luxurious experience.
Yeah, and you don't have the headache of hot tubs. I mean, hot tubs are such a headache.
Hot tubs are.
There's a bath, you can just drain the water, clean it, happy days.
Yeah.
So it definitely works. Definitely works for us. It was brilliant to have you here. Thank you so much for coming over. And
it's fabulous.
Oh, good, excellent.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions about Glamping Innovations or any of the structures you've seen, or want any advice over structures, then get in touch with us in the comments. We can always pass our any questions on to Sara, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And we will see you on our next video.